And we're back! And I'm back!
Yeah.
I'm your host of the most, Donald Wood. I am back. I am thinner than I was before. Not the good way. I wish I lost weight like in a normal freaking way. But no, I'm back. I am back from emergency surgery. I'm back from nearly dying. And I'm excited to be here, guys. Thank you, BG, for fake clapping. I know you wish that I had been on the morgue block, but you know what? Fuck you. Despite your wishes, I am back. And we are back with a live Ring Rust Radio recap show for WWE Raw. It was a terrible show until like the last 30 seconds, and then I was like, okay, I'll ignore all the rest. I'm your host of the most, Donald Wood. To my left, somewhere around here, Brandon Galvin. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Donnie. A little better than you, of course. I still, every week we come on here. Well, we don't really know how we're supposed to feel about Raw. They tell us we're supposed to feel good. We feel usually disappointed. But you know what? We're broadcasting live right now, Donnie, on GetVokl, social media website, focus on face-to-face conversation. I'm glad I'm able to see your face this week, Donnie. I missed you last week. After 15 minutes, all of you will be able to jump into the conversation with us and other fans by clicking the jump into a group vocal button and voice your thoughts on the bad and the ugly from Monday's Raw. So let's jump right into it, Donnie. Our boy, Dean Ambrose, is back, finally. We're acclimated now. We're acclimated for Slam.
His hair is definitely balding, and I was looking at his head. I was like, how's he going to come back? Is he going to shave it all off and then come back bald? But he came back with just like a crew cut. Still looking real bald on the top. I don't know. He's going to have to address it at some point. Renee is on commentary, was definitely better than Coach, for the record. And I could tell she was trying her hardest not to mark out because he's looking swole. He was looking huge coming out there. He was definitely he's definitely been. What did he injure?
I think it was his triceps. I was about to ask you the same thing. I think it was his tricep.
I mean, I know it was his tricep and storyline-wise because they like slammed his arm in a crate or whatever that storyline was. But he's definitely jacked to the hills, man. So he was definitely looking ready to come back. You could tell he was like, I need to come back fast. And I thought they were going to save for SummerSlam, but I guess we just give it away now. My question to you now is, since he's back before SummerSlam, is there a turn coming at SummerSlam?
I think it is at SummerSlam. I think they rushed this out because we need some new blood right now on Raw, right? Dean Ambrose coming back is great, but there's really no top heel. We haven't had Brock Lesnar there. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, they're good heels, but they're not featured on the show as the top-tier heels. And other than them, who do you really have? We've been searching for someone. If you have Dean Ambrose there and he's going after Seth Rollins and maybe Roman Reigns, if he's champion, Dean Ambrose can go after him or whoever else, because it doesn't seem like they have much faith in Kevin Owens. He's probably going to be a fall guy for Braun Strowman. So let's get Dean Ambrose in there as a heel. We've wanted him as a heel for years. Let's see what he can do. He's a lunatic. He's looking a little demonic. He's jacked up. Like, I would love to see what they do with him and let him really run Raw.
See, to me, I feel like they're going to wait. I feel like you're going to – there's a lot of meat left on the bone when it comes to Ziggler and McIntyre against Ambrose. I think those are good matches, especially to get him back into the swing of things, get back into the routine. If there was ever two guys you'd like this, like I said, that's a tag team program that we really haven't seen before. We've seen a lot of Rollins versus Ziggler and McIntyre, but I think it really freshens it up by adding Ambrose to the situation. And for Ambrose, you're looking to get reacclimated just to the ring. You've been away from it for a while now. What better way to do it than against two of the best pure workers in the business, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre? So I'm excited in that sense to let that go. I as much as I would like to see the turn happen at SummerSlam, because that's the second biggest stage for the company of the entire year, I don't think it happens there. I don't think they wait until WrestleMania. So it's probably going to happen at some B-level pay-per-view where nothing really is going on. They need something. That's when you flip Dean Ambrose because, WWE does shit like that all the time, and just it's what they do.
I mean, my thing with your tag team and getting them acclimated back to the ring, I get it. But how much juice is there really? Once you have the first tag team match, what are they really fighting over? You still have one guy that's going to be champion. The other guy, like Drew McIntyre, he's been fucking pointless for like he's been doing nothing besides being Dolph Ziggler's lackey. Like,
Drew McIntyre attacks Ambrose, beats the shit out of him in the backstage area. Boom, you got fuel to this fire. Now they're trying to take him back out. They're trying to injure him again. I think that's enough to just kick the can down the line a little bit. Right now, just looking at the SummerSlam card, I think there's like something like 14 matches or something crazy like that. So I don't think you need the turn here. I think when you're at another pay-per-view like Hell in a Cell or one of these other secondary shows that have, you're like, what are they going to do at this time? Because there's nothing but garbage on the show. You're going to need it then. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to save it for that moment, which is okay. I can deal with that. I can deal with a little bit of waiting when it comes to that. But let's move. Let's switch. Okay, you got something else?
Before we move on, because I think there is going to be a lot of people who think like me. I could see WWE rushing this because you did bring him back to get a face pop to then turn him heel at SummerSlam. Do you think the SummerSlam crowd in Brooklyn would boo him?
No. Nope. Absolutely not. And I think that's a huge problem. I think that no matter what, Dean Ambrose is going to get cheered like crazy. And even if he were to attack, it's a smart crowd. When you look at these kind of crowds, these are the crowds that are smart to what's happening, that are, you can say, quote unquote, smart to what's happening, but they want what they want. When it comes to Dean Ambrose, even if he attacks Seth Rollins, that's a crazy, iconic moment that we will then look back on. And the people in Brooklyn are going to be like, wow, I was there for that. That's such a cool moment. And they're going to mark out for it. So I don't think it's smart to do it there. I think if you're going to do it at a secondary pay-per-view when no one expects it. Do it when a crowd, you go to, especially in the South. The South has a lot of the fan favorite kind of crowds. Like tonight when we were I think this was one of the Carolinas, people were marking out for it. This was a huge moment. These are the kind of fans where they cheer for the faces, they boo the heels. And in that moment, I think you're going to get a lot more negative reaction for Ambrose, which is what, if you are turning him heel, you want him to get negative reactions, not overwhelmingly positive reactions. So I think that's the problem you're going to face with Ambrose no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, if they're able to do it in like Iowa, Seth Rollins' hometown, that would be great.
Yeah, they have to be smart with that. If they're going to turn him heel, I think I wouldn't, but to me, as much as I'd want it, I don't mind them leaving him face for the foreseeable future because he's going to make a ton of money. He is a reliable guy. I know this injury kind of, it derailed him a bit, but he was the workhorse. He's the guy you can depend on, like Rollins and Ziggler have been, where you can get 30-minute matches every single Raw, and that's not easy. But let's switch gears. Let's go to Romeo Reigns. We all talked about how Paul Heyman should work with Romeo Reigns. It's going to be Big Show Lesnar again. It's going to be this epic turn. And last week with Heyman saying unless and then leaving, I think that was a really cool moment. I think them teasing that again was really cool. I thought they had done that on purpose. Then when when Heyman came out and addressed all that, I was like, we're not doing that. But I didn't expect the pepper spray to the eyes, which I thought was a cool moment. I thought Brock Lesnar coming down and beating the piss out of him was a cool moment. But in the try to do sports entertainment, layout, Brock Lesnar standing tall indicates he's going to take the loss on Sundays. I don't see any other way to really book around this. So what do you got?
I could still see Lesnar winning. My thing here is that I'm hearing a lot of echo on your end.
No, all good.
Okay, so I thought that was a brilliant move, actually, by their part, to really play up to the fact, hey, everyone's talking about them wanting Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman to pair up. They've been talking about it for years. And then all of a sudden, they throw it right in our face. And if you weren't on that train, or if you never thought about that as a possibility because you may be a new fan or never crossed your mind, like you don't listen to Ring Rust Radio every week, then here it is right for you. Like, man, that would be pretty cool. And people were cheering for them actually pairing up. And then brought the pepper spray. I didn't see that coming. I don't think really anyone could have seen that coming. I thought it was a little bit silly where Romeo Reigns, he's telling him, you could die for all I care, right? That's what he said. You can go drown for all I care. Then he's reading this proposal, this letter that he has. I was like, why are you even entertaining anything?
Because he brought his dad into it, which I thought was a cool, speaking Samoan to him, referencing driving with his father and his uncle, which are very true stories, which are very steeped in reality. I thought that was the moment where it turned and was like, wow, this is cool. But then as soon as he's reaching and kept reaching in his pocket, I was like, he's probably got something else, maybe a pen or something. But then he pulled out the pepper spray. really nice moment. I thought it was a really cool, really well done by everybody involved.
It was. And then Brock Lesnar coming out, we rarely get to see him. I didn't think he was supposed to be on this show. I didn't really check like who was supposed to be advertised. I wasn't looking at rumors, so I didn't know Dean Ambrose was supposed to be back. Like there was signs in the crowd for Dean Ambrose coming back. I didn't know. And so Brock Lesnar coming out, that was a surprise to me. Him beating up Roman Reigns, awesome moment. We always love to see that. They are throwing you this wrench, though, of, man, Brock Lesnar is unstoppable. Roman Reigns, they're trying to build up sympathy that he's going to win on Sunday. I could definitely see Brock Lesnar still retaining that championship, keeping that streak going.
Here's the deal. I don't like Roman Reigns. You know my stance on Romeo Reigns. I'm not a fan. But at this point, I think I would be disappointed if Roman Reigns doesn't freaking win this match, just because Brock Lesnar truly isn't a good champion for the WWE. At this point, I know you like having him with the Universal Championship for the notoriety that he can bring the company when he is out there, but he's not carrying the title when he's in UFC press conferences. He is not being advertised as a WWE champion. So why are you giving him this platform to use? And I really do not believe, from a WWE perspective, from a Vince McMahon perspective, it's time to give Roman Reigns the championship. What you do from there is very, very important in terms of getting the fans who are skeptical of him to be on his side. But it is time now to give him that championship. While I don't like him, I think if you don't, it's totally foolish. It's a silly move to not give him the title at this point.
I still don't want to have the championship, and at this point, I'd rather Braun Strowman cash in with the stupid briefcase that he has to carry around and just go from there. Like,
sure, but Roman should beat Lesnar first and then have Braun cash in on him. At least in that moment, you're building sympathy for a guy, especially if he's a face. You're trying to build sympathy for this guy. So, and Braun is over AF, so I mean, it's not a bad thing to have him be champion, but it's just. Yeah. It's WWE backs themselves into a corner with these situations, and they continue to do so, and they did it again.
I would be perfectly fine with Roman Reigns having that fluke victory over Lesnar at the Greatest Royal Rumble, Lesnar beating his ass again like he did at WrestleMania, and Braun Strowman being the one to take the title up. And they always having that over Roman Reigns. You couldn't get the job done. I had to get the job done for you.
Well, we're going to talk about Ronda Rousey, but we're running out of time. But I just want to mention quickly, whoever's doing her hair, stop doing her hair like that. I understand you want to keep it tight. I get it. Like, I mean, Uriah Faber in the UFC always had cornrows because you wanted to keep it tight in the fight situation. I get it. But, I mean, it looks just absolutely crazy every time. Just have a real tight ponytail. Just slick it back. Like, I got a tight shoot right back. You know what I mean? It's nice. It's not so bad. But, yeah, I think she's going to lose, too. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Mike doesn't agree, but I agree. Donnie, you are out of time.
Who?
Okay. Yeah, we're out of time. And just everyone watching live, click the jump into a GetVokl button to join us. I can hear you. I don't know if anyone else can hear you.
I think everybody can hear me. They can eat shit if they can't hear me. Look, I'm out of time, brother. But yes, as soon as we're going to come back here and go ahead. We'll do our promotion right now. Just unclick your mute button, BG, and let me get the thing here. And we're out of here. I'm pretty sure you can hear me, the fans out there. But BG, I'll say your part in case you can't. Try to unmute if you can hear me. There you go. I can hear you. Go ahead, do your part. I'm pretty sure they can hear us now.
Everybody, thank you for joining us, and be ready because in a moment we're going to end our live broadcast, which is probably already over because we don't know what the hell we're doing. And to anyone watching live on Facebook and YouTube, follow the link to GetVokl up in the post, then click on the jump into a GetVokl button to join in on the conversation, discuss your thoughts on WWE Raw with Donnie and I in just a couple minutes.
Well, and a big thank you to everyone who watched this and has supported us over the last week or two. With all the stuff that's going on. I know last week's episode of Ring Rust Radio was super fucking boring without the heart and the soul. I'm the Mustafa Ali and the Cedric Alexander of Ring Rust Radio, and that is the bottom line because Don Wood said so. But just a reminder that we do this Monday nights at 11:15. But this Sunday after SummerSlam, myself, Brandon Galvin, wherever he is, we will be doing a SummerSlam recap show. It better be at 11:15. I know there's 112 matches and the pay-per-view is the last 8 hours, But we're going to do it after SummerSlam. We're going to have a little fun after that because after watching that much bullshit, we have to have something that just like makes us, not want to hurt ourselves anymore because it's going to be stupid long. But thank you so much for supporting us as always. And please, after this ends, click over and talk to us. We're going to get into some group vocals so you can talk to us about what happened on Raw and what's happened to me over last week and all that jazz. So please click over. Thank you to everybody who listens, and we will be back here Sunday night.